Okay, so let's talk about what I want to talk about today. And I want to talk about your health. And I'm not a health nut. I'm not a health coach. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a doctor. All the things. I am a transformation coach. I have battled my weight my entire life and the emotions and I'm addressing those emotions that are around my weight right now, and I have been for about a year. But I want to talk about all the other stuff that comes into play when it comes to health. Okay? And I want to start by saying, I don't know if you guys watched the opening ceremonies to the Olympics last night. However, if you didn't, if you watched nothing, and it was cool. It was so cool how they did the countries come in and all that. It was just, I'm not going to spoil anything if you haven't watched it yet. But if you don't want to watch all of that, and I get it because it was long, Celine Dion. And I'm going to cry. I have been a huge fan for a very long time. And I've gone to her concerts. She got me through lots of breakups in college, high school and college. And Scott and my wedding song is Celine Dion. And no, it is not Hearts Go On, Titanic song. No. We're, as much as I appreciate Celine, that one could fall off and be fine. It was These Are the Special Times. So if you've never heard that song, go Spotify it or Google it. But last night, if you don't know her, you're not a fan, or you don't know what's going on, she has been diagnosed with the autoimmune disease that, and I know I'm going to get it wrong, but she freezes, right? And the documentary follows her around, and I was not prepared to watch the documentary as a fan and someone who has followed her since she was her first album. I was not prepared. Kleenex, it was, yeah. But she has the disease. Her body freezes. Like, it literally is like stone. And if you know her, you know she fills a room. She's tiny, but she fills the room with her energy. And watching that and watching, like, she has no control over when it's going to happen. It affects her voice, obviously. She's in multiple types of therapy, trying to, physical therapy, occupational therapy, autoimmune, like there's all kinds of stuff that she's been going through the last few years. And she closed out the ceremonies last night. I was a mess. I sat there, I literally sat there like this the whole entire time, because I was like, oh God. She's on stage, she's in front of these people. I know she has to be mortified, like scared, because like, what if she has an episode that she just can't control? And I was just like, and I think anybody that was watching this, a fan that knows her, were like, good vibes, good energy. You're going to, da-da-da-da-da. And it was, she sang in French. I have no idea what she said, but I was a mess. Watching Celine that last night. Now, I tell this whole long story to say, our health involves more than just food. Is food important? Look at him. He's looking for pecans. He's not getting any more right now. Is food important? Absolutely. Absolutely, it's important. We're not talking about that right now. I want to address the things that you are consuming that's not food. Okay? And I bring up Celine and her performance last night, because I don't know on your social media feeds if you've even been on social media today or even the news, but that's what it's about. Yes, there's some, there's talk about, Lady Gaga and other performances and, the opening ceremonies, but she's taken up so much because that was her comeback. If she just stopped singing tomorrow, that was like, holy cow, with what she's been going through. And then she just did that for the Olympics, for the whole world to see. And talk about inspiration, because not only are Olympics inspiring, right? Because you got all these top athletes and they're, doing all this stuff, but you've got this woman that is singing. There's nobody else, like the cameras are on her and her pianist, right? Like that's it. And on the Eiffel Tower, no less, at the closing ceremonies of a world event. Talk about inspiring. And maybe it's the meds I've been taking. I don't know. But I feel like this morning I can do anything. Let me know if I'm back. It just said I got booted off. Y'all let me know if I'm back. I'm just going to keep talking, hoping I'm back, so I won't forget where I was at. But talk about inspiring. I feel like this morning I could just do whatever. Right? Because she was so inspiring last night. So I tell that story to say, what are you consuming? Not food. We're not talking about food. But what are you consuming that is taking a part of your health? News. If you have, I've spoken about this before. I don't watch the news. I'd stopped watching the news years ago. I do listen to the headlines at the top of the hour on radio. I do follow some people on social media that are not, they're as middle as I can find them, but still give me, I don't want to have my head in the sand. I want to be informed. But I also don't need it all the time, right? And as an empath and somebody who feels feelings, the news can get so overwhelming, especially when you watch it. Again, I'm not trying to put my head in the sand, and I'm not trying to ignore what's happening in the world. I just have a boundary. Thank you, Bree. Thank you, Teresa. Chrissy says it's absolutely amazing, true determination and just putting herself. Absolutely. I think I'm going to cry all day because it's all in the news or all on my feeds. Anyway, but it was phenomenal. So the news is one that I have decided to cut down as much as possible without, again, still want to be informed, but the second is social media. And do I consume? Absolutely. However, it's very curated. Okay? My philosophy about my social media is that my social media accounts are like my house. Okay? If I do not feel comfortable with you in my house, I don't want you on my social media. Okay? So it's funny because my students or colleagues say, well, aren't you on Instagram? I am. But my Instagram is like golden retrievers because we have them. It is DIY projects because we're renovating the house. It is small farms because during the Rona, I was like a container gardener fiend. It has baby animals. Like, it's all these things that bring me joy, that make me smile. Okay. The good news movement is on my Instagram, right? My Facebook is a little bit more personal because it does have people on there from anywhere from people I grew up with through, now. So that's a little different. But again, if I see things I don't like to see, I will either unfollow, unfriend, or you can block them or whatever. That's my energy. That's my space, right? That's my right. And yes, I'm on TikTok. TikTok is a little bit harder because, especially when, the algorithm for the For You page, if you're on TikTok, is very, sort of in your face a lot of times. And so I usually just try to ignore my For You page and just follow people who are, inspirational. I follow a lot of recipe people on TikTok. A lot of DIYers there too. Home improvement, decor people. Lots of female entrepreneurs. I'm on TikTok with lots of people, female entrepreneurs. But again, I'm consuming that. Music is another one you can consume. Let me know in the comments of other things that you might be consuming other than news, social media, music, friends and their energy. You're consuming their energy, right? So find those friends that are supportive, that are uplifting, that are positive. You know who you are around that's negative. When you walk out of there, yes, others' opinions, yes. When you walk out of there in that situation that you are just drained, or you're mad, or you're sad, or your bubble burst, or your flames dimmed, if you can draw some boundaries with those people, draw some boundaries, right? Other people's opinions. Y'all have heard me say this before, as hard as it is, and it is hard. It is hard. Other people's opinions are none of your business. Of you. Other people's opinions of you are none of your business. And quite frankly, I especially since I've owned my Balance Worthy, if you're not in the arena with me, if you're not paying my bills, if you're not contributing to me and my purpose on this world, your opinion, like, trolls, if I post something, or whatever on my business account, somebody didn't like it. I'm sorry, are you paying my bills? Yeah, you're on my business page, but, whatever. I don't make money off of social media, so it doesn't matter to me. And that's hard because as a people pleaser, I want everybody to like me, right? But I have to draw some boundaries for my own mental health, for my own consumption, right? So this week, I want you to think about, hello, Kelly. I haven't seen you in forever, and I miss your face. I hope you're doing well. So this week, I invite you to take stock of what are the things that you are consuming for your health. And again, it could be food. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about social media, people, the news, music, other people's opinions. What can you curb, set boundaries for, change, whatever you need to do for your better good? Because sometimes we just need a change. Sometimes we need to put the phone down and go for a walk. Sometimes we need to set some boundaries with people in our lives, right? So what are you consuming that's part of your health? And I don't know about you, I want to live as long as possible with the best health possible, and that includes my mental health, right? Yes, physical health and food and all that is important, but, the other stuff is just as important. So take care of yourself and choose what you need to do. I realized that I cannot get on. Pecan's over here. He's trying to. But let me tell y'all, if he comes up on this right here and walks up towards me, y'all may see me flee. But I'm just telling you. He's a brave little one, isn't he? So take stock this week. See what you can do, if there's any changes that you can make, and think about your overall health. Because yes, food and all that is important, but the other stuff is just as important too. Okay, so I've talked long enough, and the squirrel hasn't helped. Literally, squirrel has not helped. I pulled 2 cards this morning. One, my little angel card, it says support. What does that mean to you? What does support mean to you? Does that mean support your health? That's what I'm taking it as. Support your own health. Support your own health, right? The other one is, and I love this, I can't make this up, sorry it's backwards, and I'll read it to you. These are from the Mindful Messages deck. It says, sorry, he's over here. Creator of happiness. That's what the Mindful Messages card says. It says, I reclaim my power to create my own joy and happiness. It is not dependent on any outside source or individual. Therefore, it cannot be taken away. It can always be found within me. And this is probably just as much to me as anybody else this morning too, because there's something that I'm going to talk about later. I'm going through it right now, about creating my own happiness, and I'll get back to y'all on this. But so this is just as much for me, if not for anybody else, it's for me for sure. But I wanted to share it because it was the card that I pulled when I asked, what does everyone need to know today? So it was a good reminder for me too. But to me, this is just a reminder too that you get to choose what you consume. You get to choose what you consume, food or otherwise. So make wise choices for you and for your health. Physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, all of it. All of it. You know, there's not many things that we have control over, but that might be something that is. So take stock, take a few minutes, think about it, and what changes can you make. And if you did some of them, come back and let me know in the comments. Okay, everybody, I hope you have a wonderful week. Please don't forget, if you are interested in the Women's Recharge Retreat that we're doing in October, please come check it out. Make sure you register, because when I have capped out, I'm going to close registration. So make sure you get a spot if you want to do that. October 4th through the 6th here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Yoga, meditation, sound healing, nature therapy, fun, laughter, female time. Come join us. It's going to be awesome. And don't forget, Thursday night membership, Thursday night, 7 p.m. Again, the link is up above. Okay, everybody, I hope you have a wonderful Saturday, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you soon.